you, sir. What's your nationality, bro? What's your nationality?
Black.
American black?
Yeah.
Okay. What does the Bible call you? What does God call you? Because black, your skin, our skin is not black. You know what I'm saying? That's black, but your skin is not black. So we can't be black. We got to be something else, right? What would you say? And you see right here. The answer is right here. This is the cheat sheet. All right. So if you call yourself American black, you're really an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Have you heard that before? Are you familiar with the Bible? Okay, well, what if I told you this Bible is your history book that your ancestors wrote? Okay. How did we get here? How did so-called black Americans get here in America?
Well, Indian.
Well, there was natives here, yes. But how did a lot of us come here? How did we get here?
Africa.
That's right. But by what means? Did we take an airplane? Did we take a ship? Did we take a train? How did we get a train?
I mean, ship.
A boat, right?
A boat, yeah.
All right. So, what if I told you the transatlantic slave trade is in here? What if I told you that?
Yeah, I know it.
You know that. Where is it at?
Yeah.
Well, let me show you where it's at. All right. Let me show you exactly where it's at. You know anything about? You can have a seat. You know anything about the Israelites in the Bible? Moses. So in the Bible, Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt, right? Okay. And what were the Israelites doing in Egypt? In slavery, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they came out of Egypt, God made a covenant with the Israelites. And this is the covenant. All right? Deuteronomy 28:68. This is God talking to the Israelites through Moses. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, they just came out of Egypt. They just left Egypt. But he's saying, if you break my commandments, I'm going to send you back into Egypt. That's what he's saying. Now, what does Egypt mean? What does that word mean? I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The Bible defines itself. Exodus 20, verse 2. Exodus 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is another word for bondage, or a place of bondage. Yeah. So now let's go back over here and see what God was saying. He said, if you don't obey my commandments, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt, slavery again, with ships. You said we got here on slave ships, right? On boats. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there, in this new bondage, you will be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall redeem or save you. So right here we have the transatlantic slave trade. We were brought over here from Africa by slave ships.
But you know what?
And when we got here, we were sold into slavery, right?
My mom is Indian. My father's black. Your color.
Okay, all right, so look.
But you know what?
Your mother will be Native American, right?
Native, yeah.
She's from the tribe of, see Native American here? Right here. She's from Gad.
Yeah.
And your father is from Judah. So the way race works, you are your father. So whatever your father's racial identity is, that's what you are. There's no such thing as mixed in the Bible. Right?
Okay.
All right? I can prove that. Numbers 1 and 18.
My father's black.
Like dark.
Dark.
Right. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigree after their families by the house of their fathers. So the father is the pedigree. So your father is a so-called American black, you will be a so-called American black, but the real identity is Jewish. Alright? That's your real identity. So now that you know you're an Israelite, right?
Yeah.
What does God require of the Israelites? What's the requirement that He expects from you?
Best man I can be.
All right, if breaking the commandments got us here in slavery, right? How would you guess getting us out of here? What would that take to get us out of here? If breaking the commandments brought us here, how do you think we can reverse it?
I don't know.
By keeping the commandments. Now let me give you let me prove that. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. Patient. Some wind has got picked up here. Here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, O Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee? To fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, for thy good. So this is how we're going to get out of here. Is we come back to God and keep the commandments. Now, brother, what are a few of God's commandments? Give me a few. You need some?
You know, football, I play football. Jets.
The Jets, your team?
Jets.
Jets, okay. Strong, huh?
Yeah.
Ducking and dodging, I hear you.
This is what I do. I have sisters, 3 brothers. But I'm the man. I tell you, when I run from
Yeah.
the door,
I hear you.
I know I'm supposed to be off. Because you never hit my face.
Okay.
Fuck the motherfucker up.
I hear you. But back to what I was asking. Can you give me 3 commandments?
I don't know the Bible.
I'll give you a few. Okay?
Yeah.
You have a seat, sir. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Man,
I hear you, man. I hear you. Have a seat, brother. Have a seat. All right, so Leviticus 11, all right? These are some of the laws that God requires, all right? Leviticus 11. And the swine, though he had divided hoof, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Now what's the swine? What's the swine? It's a pig. So God is saying the swine is unclean to you, right?
I don't
Good,
eat
so
it.
that's keeping the commandment.
I know.
Keeping the commandment, all right? All right, let's check this. Let's get another one. Now, furthermore, it says, of their flesh, of the pig's flesh, you should not eat. It's unclean to you. You shouldn't even touch it. All right, cool. Second commandment. Now let's find out what we can eat in the waters. These, well, what kind of fish though? Let's find out. Of these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So the Lord is saying you can eat anything in the water that has fins and scales. It's got to have both of them. So what fish has fins? What fish don't have fins and scales? What things in the water don't have fins and scales? Does a catfish have fins and scales? Catfish has fins but no scales. See, that's unclean. Can't eat that. Salmon, it has fins, it has scales. You can eat that. Does a lobster have fins and scales?
Yeah.
A lobster has fins and scales?
No.
That's right. You can't eat that. You cannot. All right? The shrimp. Do shrimp have fins and scales? No fins and scales. So you can't eat shrimp.
I eat it.
But you can't. That's a commandment. You got to keep the commandment, right? So if it doesn't have fins and scales, it's against the commandments. All right. So that means no shrimp, no crab, no lobster, no oysters, right?
Do you out here?
What's that?
Book.
What about? Yeah.
Want to get a book.
Say again?
I want the book.
You want a Bible?
Yeah.
I don't have an extra one on me, but this is the only one I've got right now. But you can get one from Amazon.com, from the bookstore. They're cheap, you know. So those are some basic commandments. Let me give you one more commandment.
Okay.
Sabbath. How many days in a week?
7.
That's right. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
So which day is the 7th day of the week? That's the question. 7th?
Sunday.
It's the first day of the week.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what God says about the Sabbath day, which is the 7th day of the week. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 20, correction. Exodus chapter 20, verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath day of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do no work, right? Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy sons, thy servant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that's in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So basically what God is saying, on the 7th day, you can't work, you can't cook, you can't clean, right? That's the one day of the week. That's the one day of the week. That's the one day of the week where the Lord says, look, I've given you 7 days. 6 days, do whatever you want. But on the Sabbath day, my day, rest.
But you know, I like you. That Bible so. But when I run everything, when I work, buildings that like this, I own buildings like this, but I know how to do the work. No, this never had. Work, I joined. Buildings, I own. Own. My brother, smart man. 2. My oldest brother, smart. Other brother, smart too. All these people knew that when I work, nobody can touch my work. But I love people working. I work 6. I work every day. It's me. Work. This brick busted out. I know people, you know, pictures I sell, miniature pictures I sell. Jackson 5 I sell. Many people. Ray Chinatra,
Maybe like 40 minutes you could be slow.
he ain't nothing to me, but he sells. I sell the picture. I sell every place you go. So, you know, when I'm there, Al Green shows up. I sell them. So everything is mine. When I drive to work, I do it every day. Had to leave out. Listen, I'm working every day. Cause look, when you give me the word, I'll do anything. But, you know, I like the book. I read it. But, you know, I work every day. That's what I do.
Well, brother, working is good, but more important than working is keeping the commandments. You know that, right?
I know.
More important than working is to please the Lord. He made you.
I know.
He made your body. He made your mind. He made that job. Right? So what I want you to leave here today is keeping the commandments. That's what I want you to leave here today. That the importance of keeping the commandments to life. Okay? All right. So let me give you one last scripture before we go. All right. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. To fear God and to keep his commandments. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. So you can work all you want and die, your life means nothing because you spent your life working, not serving the Lord. Now you gotta work. But the point I'm making is your whole life shouldn't be about working. You understand? So I hope you leave today with this information. You're the Israelite, but you're God's chosen people, even the tribe of Judah. Alright? As God's chosen people, he has one people, that's Israel. As in his people, he loves you more than anybody else. Alright? And there's a requirement for that love. There's a requirement for being the people of God. Is keeping the commandments. Alright? That's what I want you to leave here today. That it's essential that you keep the commandments. No more pork, you don't eat pork. No shrimp, no crabs, no lobster, no oysters, right? Right? You got plenty of other fish to eat, right? Keep the Sabbath day. Alright? These are some commandments you can start implementing now in your life. Watch God come to your life and fix things and make it better if you're keeping the whole commandments. I'll give you one more before I let you go. To show you the importance of keeping the commandments. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 5. Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 5. Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. So, if you keep the commandments, you don't have to worry about anything bad happening. That's what the Bible said. So you keep the commandments, God's going to take care of it, alright? Alright, sir. Roll it down, alright? Be easy, love you too, brother, alright? More important is God loves you, alright? That's why we'll keep it. What is love? How do you show love? Let's get there. But the last one. 1 John 5 and 3. this we, 1 John chapter 5, verses 2 and 3. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is love. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous.
I know it.
That's how you know you love God when you keep his commandments.
I know it.
Let me give you one more.
Come on.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4 and 5. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. So sin, the definition of sin is breaking the law.
No, never.
So to not break the law, keep the commandments, right? All right, brother? Take care of yourself, all right? Mr. Cathartic, all right? Nice to meet you. Ron Reed. I won't forget you, all right? Keep your head up. All right, brother. You gonna be safe? You need any help? You sure? All right, brother. Be careful, brother. You need some help? All right, cool. Be safe, brother. All right. You got any questions before you go?
No.
Okay. All right, brother. Be safe, brother. All right, love you too, brother. God foreordained for you to be here at this moment, all right, brother?
I love you.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Love you too, brother. Absolutely. Have a good one, man. Take care of yourself, brother. Be safe out here. Be slow. Take care of yourself.
That was a lifesaver in Germany.
I know. All right, be safe, brother. All right, you got it. Take care of yourself. How's it going, miss? What's your nationality?
African American and Caribbean.
On your father's side, whatever.
Caribbean.
Caribbean. So, right here, West Indian black. Right? So, I don't know if you knew this, but your real identity is not Caribbean or black. You're an Israelite. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So, have you heard that before?
No, I have not.
How did your people get to the Americas? How did they get here?
Well, my father, he's here now. This is the first time he's been here.
Your ancestors.
I don't know.
You believe in God, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what if I told you the transatlantic slave trade isn't here? This is your history book.
Okay.
One scripture before you go. I'm going to prove this to you, all right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. Okay? So you said we got here by slave ship, right? Now watch this.
I really didn't say anything.
Well, you're right. I did. Yeah, I said it right.
Yeah.
So how did we get here? By what? By what form of transportation?
I
Did our
mean,
people-
I can just go by what history has taught me, but
What did
I
history
don't
tell
know.
you? But what did history tell you? That happened?
Just exactly what you said.
By slave ship, right?
Right.
All right, watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, remember the Israelites, right, in the Bible.
Right.
What were they doing in Egypt the first time? What were they doing there? When Moses came and got them, what were they?
They were slaves.
They were slaves, right?
Yeah.
Now, we were slaves too, right?
Right.
So God is saying to our ancestors, if you break my commandments, I just took you out of Egypt. If you break my commandments, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt again with ships. We said we got here by slave ships, right? With ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you or redeem you. So that's our transatlantic slave trade right there. That's how we got here. So this book is not the white man's book. It's your book. It's your history.
I mean, I'm a Christian, so I
Well-
do believe in the Bible.
Well, when you open this book, now you see you're in this book. It's you. You feel me, right? What color was Christ before you go? According to the Bible.
Brown.
You look like you, right?
Brown, yeah.
Okay. You know where to go to find that, right?
Not really.
Okay. Last one. Here you go. Revelation chapter 1. Go to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13. Alright, here we go. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. Now who's the Son of Man in this situation? That's Jesus, right? Clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. So he had a golden belt around his waist, right? His head and his hairs were white like wool. So the hair on his head and the hair on his face was white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were like a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? That's actually your color is brass. But let's see how dark he was, right? His feet were like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. So you take round, right? Your color, and you put that in you burn it. What color is that?
It's darker.
So Jesus was Wesley Snipes black, all right?
Okay.
That's your brother right there. You from the same tribe as your brother there, all right?
Right.
All right, it's your people. So everybody in the Bible was black. Last one. Job 30:30. Job 30:30. I'm gonna show you Job was black. Job 30:30. Before you go. Job chapter 30, verse 30. Okay, here we go. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. That's a Job. All right. Now, last question before I let you go. Now that you know you're Israel, right? That you are the children of Israel. What does God require of the Israelites? What does God require of you?
To bring his people into the Christianity.
Of you. What does He require from you?
From me?
Like, what are you responsible for as a person?
You mean what is my purpose? Is that what you mean? Or just what is my...
How will you be saved? How will you be saved?
So that is accepting Christ and believing in his word. I mean, that's...
Believing in His word.
Yeah.
Okay. What about keeping the commandments? How's that?
Yes, keeping the commandments.
All right. So, can you give me a few commandments? Just 3.
Thou shalt not kill. Respect your mother and
So
father.
you're doing that, right? All right. What about this? What about keeping the Sabbath day?
Yeah.
You do that?
Yes, I do.
You do. So what does it mean to keep the Sabbath day? And it's today, first of all, it's today's.
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Hey, look into it, okay? Look into it. Keep the commandments. You're an Israelite. All right, you're God's chosen people.